So Craig, I want to know about Doug Collins, this man that really unfolded or downloaded the universal reading method that you're pioneering in the planet. And I want to know about this incredible human being that I think he's got kind of a storied past and an interesting past. Would you share a little bit?
Yes, my brother was a wounded soul, a wounded person. He was born without the ability to read, and being a non-reader, he was often felt stupid and dumb, and he felt that there was actually, at one time, he thought he was retarded. He thought there was his brain was something wrong with his brain. And when he was obsessed with graduating from college and graduating from high school. And so he would sit in his room and he'd bite his hand and he would pray that words would jump off the pages like they did and he believed they did for other people. And so I thought he was kind of a goofball. You know, I wanted to go play. Let's go play tennis. Let's go outside. Let's go to the beach. And he would nonetheless say no. He would say no. He would stay in his room and continue to pray. So this went on for many years. I did not know that my brother was unable to read. I did not know. I just thought he liked to study. And so as a result, he was able to secure great grades with the help of my parents and doing papers. But it was very, very, very hurtful for him to be a non-reader. And so when he had graduated from college after 6 years of really working hard and memorizing everything and getting passing grades. And my parents decided they wanted him to go to law school. So he went to law school, and within a week or so he realized he couldn't memorize all that information. He couldn't succeed in law school. So he went to a professor, and the professor said, well, we don't memorize everything. He said, what we do is we put things in concepts, and then we remember the concepts. And my brother thought, wow, that's amazing. He was really, had never heard of that before. And he went home the next day, and he was, in the morning when he woke up, and he just sat down and he wrote down the universal reading method. At that time he called it the Collins reading method. And when he did, then he knew how to read. And he went back to law school, and he graduated at the top of his class. He was the top student in his school. And they even used his outlines when a visiting professor would come in to substitute and wanted to teach the class. They would use my brother's outline. So it was just this huge experience for him to have become a reader after almost 30 years of not being able to be a reader and being totally abused by the teachers and the students and being embarrassed. So he created the universal reading method, and what happened was we learned that the universal reading method transforms people into readers in 2.5 hours, which is a miracle. I mean, obviously something that was an epiphany. And so included in it were so many parts of it I didn't understand, and so we talked to a neuroscientist, and he began to explain what we were doing and why people were transforming into readers in only 2.5 hours. And now there's a study at the University of California at San Diego in the neuroscience department where they're doing brain imaging, and they're going to explain to us exactly what's taking place in the brain. And I've traveled all over the world for almost 2.5 years, and I've taught people who were dyslexic and people who had Asperger's syndrome, and it's been an amazing experience. And my brother Doug, his words to me and from his heart was, I created the reading method so other people would not have to experience life the way I did. Not be called names anymore. Not to feel stupid or dumb. Not to feel like they had a secret. And if anything, their secret was they were brilliant. And my brother was a genius, and he was brilliant, and eccentric, and wounded. And he played the flute, and he made his own flutes. He would actually carve out the flute and make it perfect pitch. And he would do art, and his art would be incredible with a black piece of paper and then chalk and all kinds of images and almost archetypal expression. And then when he worked with children, he was a Pied Piper, and they followed him around and they loved him. He was a gardener, and he had a bed and breakfast up in Julian, up above San Diego, and he would create a beautiful garden and pathways for people to follow. So his heart was, and his soul was so sensitive that he was a recluse. He didn't want to speak in front of people. And so he chose me to speak for him. And hopefully I've spoken well for him tonight.
Thank you.